Hi, I'm Susan and I'm going to do a video about my blindness because I'm blind. I'll go into the story in a minute about how I became blind and all that. I've recently, well, not recently, it's been a while actually. I've uploaded a video before, talked about my blindness, but I haven't talked about my blindness and that in a long time. Obviously a lot has happened since I've last uploaded a video. We're now in a pandemic, which is quite scary. My part of the world, well, I'm originally from Ireland. I was born, I lived in a place called Mullingar. It's about an hour away from Dublin. I now live in Scotland with my husband and 2 children. When I say children, they're not, they're teenagers now. I've been here for 15 years, but I suppose I'll just hop straight into the story. For those that hadn't seen my video the last time, or didn't go on YouTube or look at my video or something, I had recently uploaded a video. Well, when I say recently, it was last year sometime. I talked about my blindness and how I became blind. I was born premature. I was born 3 months early. I was severely premature. I was only 2 pounds in weight. I was born blind in the left eye, and I just used my right eye as my remaining vision, and I just got on with it. I was in and out of hospital in Dublin, getting operations to correct a squint, is that what we call it, a squint? I'm getting operations on my eyes the whole time, not to correct my vision. It was just, as I said, to correct the squint I had. I had a really, really bad squint, and nobody, well, obviously it was in the 80s, the 80s and that, I was in and out of hospital, but nobody, whether they did or not, I don't remember, but nobody had mentioned anything about in later life I would become blind. Nobody had mentioned about my diagnosis, what I had that made my eyesight the way it is. So it was very frustrating when I was diagnosed, and very upsetting, and it took a long time to get my head around it. My diagnosis was only 2 years ago, and well, I've been diagnosed with a few things. My main diagnosis was, they call it ROP, which is retinopathy of prematurity, which means the blood vessels and the cells in the back of my retina and the back of my eye hadn't properly developed, hence the reason because I was premature in that, but hadn't developed properly. I wore glasses as a child. I wore glasses from the age of 2 right up until November last year. I stopped wearing glasses because I thought, well, what's the point? I can't see with them or without them, so what's the point in wearing them? And then I was getting stigmatized because like, you're blind, but why are you still wearing glasses? So for that reason as well, I kind of stopped wearing them. But getting back to my diagnosis, yeah, ROP. It's only premature babies that are severely born premature normally get this. And my ophthalmologist said that some babies are born blind in one eye, which I was born blind in the left eye. Some babies are born completely blind. Some babies, like myself, as I said, were born blind in the one eye and have remaining vision in the other eye and last them throughout life. Some babies, like me, when they get into adulthood, become blind completely. And there's no cure for this. There's no trying to stall it, to try and stall blindness. There's no way you can do anything. There's nothing you can do. There's no operation that will help this. There's no treatment that will help this. There's nothing. There's no cure. Once you go blind, and that's it. So as a child and a teenager, and I wore glasses. I was in and out of hospital getting tests, getting regular checkups, the usual. So I went home on a particular time 2 years ago, and I was in my mother's house, and I was right up at the telly, and I mean, I was like right up at the telly, couldn't see a thing, and I'm like, this is odd. I was really, really, really struggling to see the telly, and I thought maybe I should get a checkup when I go back home to Scotland. And when I get back home, obviously I told my husband, and that I found my vision was going a little, and then I was thinking maybe it's premature age catching up to me or something. I don't know. So I went for an appointment up at the hospital, and I seen an ophthalmologist, and he did the usual tests, the reading of the chart, the letters and that, and I was like, you're asking me? So he did another test, and he says, I'm going to test to see if you're partially sighted. And he says, my suspicions are probably going to be correct. And I was like, you're right. So we did this little test. I had to look in this screen thing. I can't really remember because it was all of his. And did the test and the whole, and I was expecting the results to come back 2 weeks later maybe. And I was told to sit outside and come back, and he called me back in, and he goes, yes, he says, my suspicions were correct, you are partially sighted. I mean, what happens now? And he registered me partially sighted, and got all my benefits that I was entitled to in place, and somebody came from the vision impairment centre, and like everything happened so quickly. It was just like that. Told I was partially sighted, and then I wake up the next morning and I've been given a cane. They've been given everything that I need to help me eat. I've had occupational therapists coming out assessing my house to see for any adaptations. And I'm like, this is happening too fast. I couldn't take anything in. I got into a depression, obviously, being told you're partially sighted, and Yeah, so I got myself into a depression, and I think the doctors had kind of, how would I say it, kind of thought my eyes, would remain stable, and that I'd be partially sighted and that's it. You just get on with it. No, no, I had to be awkward and different, and no, my eyesight deteriorated quite rapidly and quite quickly, and went downhill quite quickly. As I said, it's next week is my 2nd anniversary, and in February of this year I was registered completely blind. When I was like registered partially sighted, I had some remaining vision. Wasn't great, but I had some. Gradually it was like a fog coming down over my eyes, and it was just coming down and coming down and coming down and coming down. And then all of a sudden it just I had, everything became blurry, even though I was still wearing glasses and that, but everything became blurry. And then I started to see like shadows, like of people. When people would pass by the window or something, it just looked like a blur. It just like, what the hell is that? Is that a person? Yeah, the fogginess became really bad. As I said at the beginning, I've been diagnosed with quite a few conditions. I also have cataracts in both my eyes. I also have retinal, what do you call it? Yeah, retinal. Oh, I can't think of the name. Something pigment, retinitis pigmentosa. There, I've said it. I've got retinitis pigmentosa. I've got cataracts. I also have Charlie-Bonnet syndrome, which I actually think has been worse than being blind, because Charlie-Bonnet syndrome, if nobody knows what it is, it's visual hallucinations. Oh my god. At the beginning, obviously with the flashes of the lights and the different colours, I was experiencing them. The flashes of lights were mostly just like a bright light, and then at night time I would experience like different colours, but not all at the one time. Just the colours I was experiencing was, at the time, it was red and green, and then it would go into blue, and then lately I've been experiencing kind of purple and pink. I don't know where the pink is coming from, but yeah, the visual hallucinations are pretty bad. I see spiders crawl up my arm. Obviously I know they're not there, because that's what my ophthalmologist says, they're not real, they're not there. It's just my brain trying to compensate, but my vision is losing and it's thinking that there's stuff there when they're not. Yeah, I see spiders crawl up my arm. It's pretty horrific, because I could be drinking a cup of tea or something and I could get scolded because, well, I see little spiders crawl up my arm and I'm like, the hell is this? I also, whether people believe this or not, I also see dead people. People, I don't know who they are. People that are way back in the centuries, like Edwardian time. And I do see family members, which is pretty scary, but I suppose when I do see family members, I suppose it's kind of quite comforting, but it's not a nice experience at the same time. Yeah, my vision loss journey has been pretty, how would I explain? It's been intense, I suppose. I haven't been, or I'm not the easiest people to live with, especially now because, you know, I can't see anything at all. When I was registered partially sighted, as I said, I had some remaining vision, but it was cloudy and foggy and all that. And then I only had like shadow perception. Last year sometime, I think it was July, August, around this time last year, I stopped seeing people's faces. I stopped seeing my children's face, well, they're teenagers, but I stopped seeing my children's face, my husband's face, my family's face, everybody's face. Can't see a thing. And like I said, I had light perception and shadow perception, but then my shadow perception went Christmas time, I think Christmas time, January time, I can't really remember when, and then onwards I just had light perception, but that's went too. In the last 2 weeks, my right eye is completely black. Everything, well, I can't see it at my left eye anyway, but my right eye is just, everything is just completely black. I look at, not that I can see it, but I look at the telly, it's just like looking at a black box. I'm sitting in front of the window, but we've got 2 rabbits, and we've got like the rabbit's cage underneath the window, and it's just like looking at a black box. Everything in the room just looks black. So that has been trying to get my head around that as well. Didn't really come as a shock because I was told it will come. You know, when the blackness comes, you'll know. And my ophthalmologist was saying, obviously, you know, I hope it never comes, obviously, but you know, when it comes, she said, you know, it'd be inevitable, you know, that this day was to come. And as it came 2 weeks ago. So I've been up and down with my vision journey, obviously. I'll go into more detail about, I'll put up a video about it another time, about my suicide attempts, my self-harm, obviously, because I thought, well, if I, you know, because I can't see, what's the point? But anyway, I'll go into a story about that another time. It's too deep just now. But yeah, it's been hard, but in another way, it's kind of been a little blessing in a way, because as a result of my vision's gone, we were able to get a car under mobility. So, well, obviously I can't see, but I still get about. We've been going on day trips and stuff like that with the kids and that. So I have been getting out, and then when there's times I don't go out, I just go into a deep depression. Well, I haven't been out since Saturday. It's now Tuesday, so I've not been out in 3 days because the way my right eye is going, and it went quite quickly. This darkness, pardon the pun, but it's like a blind coming down over your eye, and it's just when you close your eye and you hold your eye like that, and obviously you see nothing but black. That's what it's like. I also have nystagmus. May not notice it in the video, but it's the muscle in your eye. It goes into like a spasm, and it kind of, well, it can move quite differently. Sometimes people have it and their spasm goes like that, or it can go like that. Mine goes like that. It's just like a basketball bouncing up and down, and you can see it. And when you look out the window, it's just like everything's moving. It's just moving up and down like that. Yeah, I experienced that last year. It's not major. It's not like I haven't got a really bad nystagmus, but when I'm tired and stressed out, I suppose, bloody rabbit, I suppose it can be quite vigorous at times. So the bloody dog. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why I'm kind of nervous about doing this video, because I haven't done one in a while, and I haven't talked about my blindness in a while. You know, I've been watching YouTube videos of people that are blind and that, and you know, I've been getting a lot of not emotional support physically, but you know, I get a lot of inspiration by looking at them, and I'm thinking, you know, they can do things, well, why can't I? And I suppose a lot of it is down to me being stubborn about my diagnosis and that, and denial, and a lot of it is down to, well,